I think a lot of people that live in the city don't even know the history, the local history, or the history even of this cathedral. I mean, we've had a lot of visitors lately who come into the cathedral and say they're living in the city all their lives and they have never been in the cathedral before. But I think we're all to blame because we take what's on our door for granted and don't realise the history that is on our doorstep. We go away to different places and the first thing you do is go to see the churches and things in the area, and we don't do it in our own city.
People tend to become complacent about their own sort of village, town or city. I mean, we walk around, we think we know everything, we think we know, oh look at that building there, that's the Guildhall. But do anybody know the dates and who sort of was the architect for it?
I think it's very important that young people especially know the local history so that they can respect what they have around them, and that they're not vandalising, and that they can appreciate its worth.
I think when people get a better understanding of their city and how important the city is, then I think really, you know, the whole mindset would be there that they look after the city. One of the big problems that we have now at the minute, as I'm sure everybody realises, is the amount of rubbish that is thrown on the street, the amount of graffiti that we have, not only on the famous city walls, but all around the buildings, you know.
If you look at Derry, right, and you know your history, you're less likely to feel disempowered and disinherited in terms of your culture.
Depends what your background is and what way you're brought up, etc. Like for me, somebody was brought up in a nationalist home, it doesn't really bother me, but then you have Republican homes and loyalist homes, that their local history means a lot to me, it doesn't really bother me.
I wish I did know a lot about it, but I don't really.
That's why it's important to know your history. The history of Derry is, I mean, it's very, very colourful.
There's no reason why school kids shouldn't be coming down here, you know, day after day after day. You know, at one time we used to have schools from all over the area, and outside the city coming to the famous Tower Museum, but that's sort of petered off now at the moment. But I think there should be a concerted effort to really get these schools back in again.
I think it's important for people to know their local history because, especially for people coming in out of town, coming to live, you know, I think it's important that they know a small bit about what went on in the town years ago.
Well, for anybody who's interested in Irish history, or even, say for instance, anybody who's interested in local history, you have any amount of places to go. A lot of people don't realise how important these walls are. Like, I mean, if you ask people, could they name the 4 main gates? How many gates there are now at the moment? We think like that there. But as I said, like, I mean, it all comes down to complacency. You know, and that applies virtually everywhere. You think you know everything, unfortunately you don't.